Hey there, it is I, Scott Luther, with the South Richfield Gaming series, and today we're going to start a simulation based off Out of the Park Baseball 2021, and we are going to be doing a simulation called the South Richfield Baseball League. And this is a fictional league, but it's going to be made up of real Major League players from any era. So you could have, let's say, Pete Rose playing with Ty Cobb, or Lou Gehrig facing Randy Johnson. So without further ado, let's take a look at what we have set up. We are starting in the year 1946, 154 game schedule, 16 teams. I have named all these teams off of people or places that we talk about on the South Richfield podcast. So let's take a look at the 16 teams real quick. I'll introduce you first to the Alger Blackbirds. This team is named after the Alger family here in Richfield. And blackbirds signify the many red-winged blackbirds in the area. After that, the Bath Buccaneers. The Buccaneers were the school mascot of Bath High School before it consolidated with Richfield and became Revere. The Bowling Green Reeds. This is, reeds grow in swamps. Bowling Green is in the Great Black Swamp. Also, my wife Rachel is a musician, and she came up with this name. She went to Bowling Green. And reeds are used in woodwind instruments, I guess. I don't know everything about instruments. Cleveland Spiders. This is obviously the old Cleveland Spiders team from the National League in the 1880s and 1890s. We'll see if the Indians change their names to Spiders when they go into play in 2022. After that, we've got the Elm Hall Loggers. Elm Hall, Michigan. The Gargett family. James moved up there. And this is a ode to the Gargett family, who we've talked about on the podcast. Mainville Muskrats. My brother-in-law Dave lives in Mainville. He's the owner of this team. The Miami Deans. My friend Dean went to Miami. And I just ripped off their school logo, so apologies, Miami University in Oxford. North Richfield Bards, another one of my friends, Todd Bard, lives here in North Richfield with me, and we've got the Bard himself, William Shakespeare, as the logo. The Paradise Valley Boysenberries, Harry Boysen, who I work with, huge baseball fan. The Boysenberries is what it has to be, out there in Arizona, Paradise Valley. The Revere Minutemen, this is my high school, and that's their logo. The Richfield Rockets, you've got a Richfield Rocket logo here. The Richfield Rockets, that was the mascot of Richfield High School before it consolidated with Bath to become Revere. The Scottsdale Pags, named after my friend Danny Pagnillo, out there in Scottsdale, Arizona. So good luck to the Pags this coming season. The Snowville Rail Splitter, Snowville in Brecksville, one of the first pioneering families out in Brecksville. Russ Snow, we have talked about him on the podcast, and he is the owner of the Snowville Rail Splitters. After that, we got the South Gilbert Falls with a Z, after my friend Andrew Falzerano. And we've got the Waterfalls logo here going. Toledo Comas, my co-host on the South Richfield podcast, Matt Coma. This team is named after him. And then finally, the West Richfield Luthers. This is the team, I guess, that is named after me. So us farmers here in West Richfield, Ohio, we've got our own team at Luther Farm Fields. And we'll see how they do this season. So if we take a look, we're going to go out to the inaugural draft. None of the teams have players yet. So they're going to hold a fantasy draft. Let's take a look at who could be drafted this first round. The draft pool. And these are alphabetical right now. I see Homer Bailey right off the top. Let's take a look at the highest rated players. Kevin Brown. Ed Delane, Mickey Mantle, Tris Speaker. A couple big names up here who are available at 24 years of age. Also, we are starting in 1946, like I said. Some of these players could be, in their 30s, while others could be in their 20s. And then next year, you'll have a new batch of rookies come along, in their early 20s or late teens. So I see Toby Hara, Mike Hargrove, a couple Indians from the early 80s. Addie Joss, great pitcher, 28 years of age in this game already. Scroll down here, you see some other names you'll probably recognize. Johan Santana, Trevor Story, Troy Gloss, Pretzels Getzian. That's the other thing. Since these players are from any era, Pretzels Getzian is from Germany. He actually played from 1884 to 1891. He was with Detroit. I think they were called the Detroit Wolverines back then. So we'll see who ends up with Pretzels. Starting pitcher. He could be good. He looked like he was ranked, up there. So let's go ahead and start this draft and see what happens. We're going to hit auto draft. And then we'll take a look at who ended up with who. Oh my gosh, this is going to take a while. It has to make pictures for every player that is put on a major league roster. So it's going to just kind of descriptions in out of the park of what these players look like. We'll see how close it is. I can't wait to see what Lou Gehrig looked like in this version of the game. I'm assuming Lou Gehrig is going to be drafted pretty highly. He's only 24 in this game. Tris Speaker is only 24 in this game. Will he end up with the Rockets? Will he end up with the Minutemen or the Blackbirds? Guess we'll find out here in a second. I did not show you the draft order, so I apologize. So the draft order was, let's take a look here. At the reports. All right, here is the draft from the first round. It looks like the Spiders had the first pick. This was a serpentine draft, so you went from 1 to 16 and then 16 to 1. And Kevin Brown went first, followed by Tris Speaker, Jim Whitney, Charlie Ferguson, Ed Delane. Mickey Mantle ended up on the Mainville Muskrats. Joe Cronin ended up with the Comas. Hal Newhouser, great pitcher, 20 years of age here in this sim, is with the Bath Buccaneers. Addie Joss, he's with the Minutemen. Probably a Cy Young favorite already. You can see here Toby Hara went in the first round. Second round, Sam Crawford went to the Boysenberries. Pretzels went to the Richfield Rockets. Take a look at Sam Crawford. Wahoo Sam Crawford. He is with the Boysenberries. John Smoltz. He's 40 in the sim, so John's probably going to be around for a season or two for the Comas, and that's about it. Round 3, I see Casey Stengel, Jeff Kent, Robin Ventura, Mike Hargrove, Shin-Soo Chu, DJ LeMahieu, ended up with Scottsdale. Round 4. Asdrubal Cabrera, Brian Giles, Jose Altuve, Bernie Williams, all going in round 4. This draft went 44 rounds, it looks like. They're filling out minor league teams as well. So, take a look at the league events here, and we can move forward to, let's move forward to spring training. Take a look at what's happening. So if we go to the news, the top 100 prospects have been published. Jocko Milligan for the Miami Deans. Jake Stenzel for the Scottsdale Pags. Trevor Story for the Buccaneers. Max Carey for the Buccaneers. Bernie Williams, Jimmy Dykes, George Winter, Bob Grimm, Steven Strasburg, 21 years old for the Richfield Rockets. George Davis. You've got, those are your top 10. Take a look at the preseason predictions for 1946 in this league. So it looks like in the American League, they favor the Rockets. While the Spiders are slated to come in last. Some of the top hitters they're thinking are going to be Charlie Hickman, Ed Delahanty, Harry Stovey, George Davis, Adrian Beltre, Toby Hara, Mickey Mantle. Looks good in that green. Mike E. Smith, Eddie Rosario, and Sam Mertes. Pitchers in the American League, Newhouser, of course, Ralph Terry, Gio Gonzalez. Pretzels. I can't wait to see what Pretzels does this year for the Richfield Rockets. That might be this might be the reason why Richfield is ranked so high. They've got both Ralph Terry and Pretzels Getzian. He's now my favorite major league player. He could end up having a Hall of Fame career here in the South Richfield Baseball League. Down in the National League, they're predicting the North Richfield Bards to finish with a record of 82 and 72, but there's 3 teams right behind them with 80 wins also, is what they're thinking. Miami, Paradise Valley, and Revere also are in the running in this preseason poll. Alger Blackbirds. Now, one thing I do want to point out, 1946, big ballparks were still in vogue. I have placed all these teams in big ballparks. So, for example, the South Gilbert Falls are in Yankee Stadium from the 50s or from the 40s. Pretty much everybody's in a big stadium, whether it be Sportsman Park in St. Louis, Comiskey Park in Chicago, Old Tiger Stadium in Detroit, Scheib Field in Philadelphia, Forbes Field in Pittsburgh. I've renamed all the stadiums, so you won't see their name, but if we click on info for, let's say, Elm Hall, we can go to their ballpark here, and you can see how big the stadium is. 340 down the left field line, 437 to straightaway center, 325 in right, with a 15-foot wall and an 8-foot wall. So I don't remember what field Gargett Field is modeled after, but holds 58,000 people. It's a pretty big ballpark. Anyway, back to these predictions. Top hitters, they're predicting I'm not sure who that is. Don Hurst, Sam Crawford, George Van Haltren, Tris Speaker's up there, Steve Garvey. They're predicting like home runs in the 50s, which I'd be surprised to see that many home runs hit in these big ballparks. I don't know if they're taking that into consideration or not. Kent Herbeck with Alger. Then on the pitching side, I don't see Joss listed, which is odd. You would think that a pitcher of his caliber would be one of the top pitchers listed, but you can see who we've got here. So let's simulate through spring training. We'll go to the spring training standings and kind of watch this as we simulate until opening day. Oh man. Maybe someone will hit 50 home runs, because in just these few games, we've got Sam Crawford hitting 15 in 30 spring training games. Not quite sure what's going on there. Maybe it was a hitter's era, but these are huge ballparks. Like I said, spring training stats that we saw. If we just want to kind of look at this, 15 home runs in 29 games for Sam Crawford. Jim Bottomley, 14 homers. Lindell, 14. Robertson, 14. We could be looking at a lot of home runs. So, why don't we go ahead and move to the regular season standings. Let's take a look at the news real quick. And you've got your opening day matchups. We got an injury here. Ooh. Ed Delahanty would be scratched after he suffered a bruised knee. That was back on April 11th, 5 days ago. He probably will not miss a lot of time. It says 4-day recovery time for Delahanty. So let's go ahead and we will simulate, since this is the first year, let's simulate until the All-Star game. We take a look at who makes the All-Star team, and also look at who is leading the league. You got Mickey Mantle over there with 4 homers already. The Luthers are in first in the American League. The Boysenberries are in first in the National League. Neither have really pulled away yet. It's going to be a close pennant race in both of these leagues. It looks like nobody's really jumping out to like a 10-game lead or anything before the All-Star break. We've got Mickey Mantle hitting 365. The Luthers are in first with a 1.5 lead over the Bowling Green Reeds. The Cleveland Spiders are suffering a 14-game losing streak. Ugh. The Scottsdale Pags are in first place in the National League. 2.5 games in front of the Boysenberries. Take a look at some of the stats. Sam Crawford batting 375. He is day-to-day right now with a strained Achilles. Mickey Mantle's hitting 365. Jim Bottomley 358 for Scottsdale. Home runs. Yeah, I didn't think someone was going to hit. Someone hit 15 home runs in preseason, but right now at the All-Star break, the high is 14 for George Davis of West Richfield. Don Hurst of Revere also has 14. Mickey Mantle is right behind him with 13. Ribby 62. Reggie Smith of Alger. Joe Pepitone, 59 ribbies. He's batting 274 with 12 home runs. On base, Mickey Mantle. Mickey Mantle He's having a good year, it looks like. And he has a great performance, but he's very unhappy with his team's record. Playing for Mainville, we go back and take a look at their record right now. They're in last place, so all is not well in Mainville. Even though Mickey is having a great year, I don't think he's going to be going to the playoffs. Pitching leaders right now. We've got Bruce Hurst. 13-2. 2.04 ERA. Kevin Gross has 13 wins as well. He's 13-3. There's a number, and also Jack Taylor. It's 13-5. So three players with 13 wins. 12 saves. Tim Scott has the most in the league. Strikeouts is led by Jim Whitney, 115. 24 more than second place Charlie Ferguson. Any special streaks out there? Longest hitting streak was Jose Altuve, had a 25-game hitting streak. Bruce Hurst is riding a 12-game win streak. That's what it looks like right now. And if we go to the league homepage and take a look real quick, power rankings, Scottsdale is on top, even though they're not in first place in their... Well, they are in first place. I'm sorry. They do have the best record in the majors, 52-30. Snowville, Paradise Valley. All right. The All-Star team. Take a look at who is on the roster. Probably a lot of those players we just talked about. Kevin Brown, Kevin Gross, Brad Penny for Cleveland, 6-7, but he does have a 2.36 ERA. Position players: Patsy Garrity, a catcher, West Richfield, Kurt Suzuki for Cleveland, John Crook, Troy Gloss, Joe Cronin. Let's see in the outfield. You got Mike Hargrove playing outfield. He's a first baseman typically. Age 24, maybe he was playing some outfield. Batting .334 this season. Way to go, Grover. Mickey Mantle, 364. Oof. And then in the National League, we've got Bruce Hurst, Ricky Nolasco, Red Faber, Craig McMichael. There's a name I haven't heard in a while. And in your position players, you've got Don Hurst, Jose Altuve, DJ LeMahieu, Orlando Cabrera, Brett Gardner, Sam West with Scottsdale. Batting .317, 7 homers, 57 RBIs. Oh, we got an injured player here. We got a couple injured players. Sam Crawford. He's day-to-day with that Achilles. We also saw Harry Stovey for West Richfield is injured. He's out for 5 weeks with a fractured hand. That's rough. Take a look at... You can see the injury history here. He also had a bruised neck earlier in the season. So even though he has made the All-Star team, he's a little dinged up right now. All right, let's go ahead and get back to the standings here, and we will go ahead and simulate to the end of the season and see who makes it into the playoffs. Bowling Green continues to lead the American League. Scottsdale's starting to pull away in the National League. They have a 6-game lead over Paradise Valley. 17 home runs for Mickey Mantle. 18 home runs for Joe Pepitone. See who ends up with the batting title and the home run title in each league. And who could be the MVP and Cy Young winners here. Ooh, man. Richfield chased down Bowling Green and won the pennant in the American League. They're going to be facing Paradise Valley, who it looks like they've only played 153 games. All these teams have only played. Oh, you know why? Because there's one more day. Let's take a look. Ooh. All right. So, we take a look here. Paradise Valley has won the National League pennant. There's a tie right now atop the American League with Richfield and Bowling Green. So let's finish today. See what happens. Richfield won that playoff game between the two teams. Uh, 2-1. Oof. Looks like he lost it. The closer, Tim Scott, lost this game in the 9th inning for Bowling Green. Holy cow! We had one run. Bowling Green tied it in the top of the 9th off of Ralph Terry, who pitched a complete game. And then it looks like if we go back, we can probably see exactly what happened here. We go to the news. Maybe not. I guess we can only see here we go. Well, no, it's just giving me the box score. Usually there's a little write-up telling you exactly what happened in the 9th inning. I can't even go to the game log to see, but it looks like Richfield pulled it off. So congratulations to the Rockets. It's like a double off of Tim Scott won that game. Troy Gloss is the hero. So playoffs are about to start here. Go to the playoff coverage. Richfield versus Paradise Valley in the first South Richfield World Series. And we'll go ahead and play these games here. First game, Paradise Valley is the host. And they take the first game 5-2 over Richfield. Pretzels is let's take a look at Pretzels' record during the regular season. 18-12 with a 3.45 ERA. Very popular locally and nationally. He's happy with his performance this year. Coming all the way from Germany to Richfield. Probably one of the big reasons Richfield is in the playoffs this season. In fact, we can kind of take a look at their roster. And that, a four-man rotation. Gross was 22-7. Strasburg was 5-13. They keep him in the starting rotation. Looks like this guy named Slim Love. Oh, you know what? They probably had a 5-man rotation. They moved it to a 4-man rotation for the playoffs, and moved the lefty into the bullpen. John Rocker is their closer. 17 saves this season. Richfield also, take a look at some of their better hitters. Troy Gloss 301. Mike E. Smith, Johnny Lindell, Robertson Hara, and Joe Pepitone holding down that cleanup spot as out in center field. 16 stolen bases led this team. Take a look at Paradise Valley real quick. Sam Crawford's clearly the leader of this team, batting .352 with 17 home runs and 90 RBIs. Harmon Killebrew is also on this team. So, Harry, you got a good team here. Batting .255. Juan Samuel. Buck Herzog. As far as pitching goes, 20-game winner in Ricky Nolasco. 20-7 with a .260 ERA. Their closer is Mel Rojas. He has 20 saves. Not too bad. All right, back to the playoffs. Sorry about that. Take a look at those participants, though. Pretzels going up against Pierce here. Pretzels loses the game as Paradise Valley beats the Rockets 5-3. They hold a 2-0 lead in the series. The Rockets come back and win 5-2 with Ralph Terry getting the win over Nolasco. Homers by Hara and Pepitone. Game 4. Paradise Valley is on the brink of the first South Richfield Baseball League World Series. They have beaten the Rockets 8-1 in Game 4. Now hold a 3-1 lead. Game 5, that does it. Paradise Valley wins 8-4 and wins the series 4-1. Sam Crawford is your series MVP. If we take a look, he was 8 for 18 with three RBIs. Earl Smith, the catcher, had 2 homers and 5 RBIs. As far as pitching goes, Jack Feister? I don't know how you pronounce that. Went 2-0. So he had a good series. But they give the MVP to Sam. So congratulations to the Paradise Valley Boysenberries. Sorry to the Richfield Rockets. It was a hard-fought series. Let's go ahead and simulate until the awards are all announced and see who brings home the hardware for 1946 in this inaugural season. All right, go to the news here. Got some, we don't need to look at all the gold gloves or the platinum sticks. So let's start with the Rookie of the Year. We have Mike Hargrove being the American League Rookie of the Year for Bath Buccaneers. Trevor Story finished second. Keith Hernandez third. Brett Gardner is the top rookie in the National League, edging out Tony Gonzalez and Ryan Church. Manager of the Year in the American League, Tony Rodriguez. And Matt Pell in the National League. Both of those guys took their teams to the World Series. Kevin Gross wins the Cy Young. He got all 16 first place votes. Like I said, he was 22-7. But alas, they did not win the World Series, unfortunately. Meanwhile, in the National League, the Alger Blackbirds, Jim Whitney, went 23-8 with a 2.33 ERA. Got all 16 first place votes. In the National League, Jim Whitney, who did he play for in real life? Let's take a look real quick. He was a pitcher for Boston in the National League from 1881. He played till 1890. Traveled around. It was Kansas City, Washington, Indianapolis, and Philadelphia also back in the 1800s. But looks like he's good enough to pitch in 1946. West Richfield Luther shipped A.J. Brzezinski to Scottsdale in exchange for Jason Beret and Mike Tyson, not the fighter, the ball player. Mickey Mantle does win the MVP in the American League. He plays again for the Mainville Muskrats. Well, I don't think he had a banner season, unfortunately for him. Troy Gloss came in second, Mike Hargrove third. And then, we got the pitcher winning the MVP in the National League, Jim Whitney. George Van Haltren for the South Gilbert Falls came in second. Undisclosed injury right now. I wonder what's going on with him. Sam West came in third in the MVP voting. So that does it for 1946. What I'll probably be doing is simulating full seasons at a time moving forward and just checking in maybe every 5 seasons with you guys. So I hope you enjoyed this first look at the South Richfield Baseball League, 1946. We'll see who ends up on teams next year and the year after that. All right. Take care. Have a good one. Bye-bye.